Are you looking for a new whiskey adventure? Then climb in and buckle up. Get ready for one hell of a ride on the Whiskey Trip podcast with your host, Big Chief. Join in as he and his guests explore whiskey and dive into whiskey stories from around the world. Now here's your host, Big Chief.
Hey, it's old Big Chief, and yeah, baby, you're taking another ride on a whiskey trip, and you can see where I'm at. I'm in the state of Texas. Can you believe that? But we're here at Giant Texas Distillery here in Houston, Texas, and I got these two cats right here. I got Julian, the master distiller, and I got Mike, the man, the myth, the legend, the man with the plan. He's the jack of all trades here, the master of marketing. He's getting it all done. But these two jokers, they're running the biggest distillery in the state of Texas, biggest west of the Mississippi that makes bourbon. Mm-hmm. So, gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Whiskey Trip. Julian, I got to say welcome back because you were actually the Whiskey Trip's very first guest. You started it off with me. So I got to say welcome back, my friend.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to our distillery. It's always a pleasure to have you here, Big Chief.
Yeah, guys. So we got some whiskey in our glass. Mike, what do we got?
So this is going to be our branded U of H whiskey right here. So on this one, it's going to be a bourbon, 75% corn, 20% rye, 4% malted barley. This one has also been proofed down to 90. 18% of each bottle sales goes back to U of H. So it's also going to a good cause. So it goes to a general fund, and they allocate it however they want on this one here. But yes, this also, I believe, is going to be a combination of a 6 to 5 year aged whiskey here, chill filtered. It's extremely smooth. And the reason why we did that is because we wanted something for the general public to really enjoy.
This has got a beautiful nose on it. A lot of people bash Texas whiskey because it's got like a funk. Well, this doesn't have a funk to me. This has just got this nice, deep, rich kettle corn, roasted sugar, toasted sugar, I guess, on it.
Yes.
Julian, was that what you were going for when you were making this?
Yes, I mean, to make this project, we went through a very extensive barrel selection. We went over 150 barrels. We were doing different tasting panel sessions to narrow it down to the best 50 barrels. And then out of those 50 barrels, we selected 30 for this project. That's why you see a lot of complexity, but also a very pleasant spirit, very, very easy to drink. You get you hit all the corners of a traditional Texas bourbon, but as you said, it's not so high in the funk. So we get a lot of compliments out of this bourbon. It's been a success. People are liking it too much, especially the Cougars, right? Because it's a U of H product. I know you're loving it right now. And it's a very good product. You can find it at, can I say the name of stores over here? Or,
yeah.
Yeah, you can find it at Specs and also here in the tasting room. An outstanding whiskey. I'm very proud of this product.
I had to smile when you said the Cougars love it. I just started cracking up. I was like, yeah, baby.
Yeah, all kinds of Cougars.
Yes.
Well, I say cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. Yeah, you can get a total wine as well. So, but it's going to be at Specs in the Illinois Houston market. But you can also order it online. It's also nice.
It's got that. Once again, I love when a lot of people say the nose doesn't matter. The nose does matter to me because that's almost like looking at a plate of food. Does it smell good? Does a plate of food look good? And therefore, it's going to be more pleasing to you. And then when you taste it, I want the palate to match the actual nose. And to me, that's where a master distiller comes in and the right art there of not only distilling it but blending it as well and making sure that you don't miss out on some characteristic in that whiskey. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And as you said, everything starts with nosing the product, right? That's how we pull the liquid out of the still based on sensory test. And that's the first thing you have to do whenever you have a glass in front of you. Always nose your whiskey. When you nose your whiskey, you're gonna get a lot of flavors that you don't get when you taste it. So that is your entrance to the product, right? And once you taste it, it has to be in line with the aromas, right? Once you see that everything is coming along together, then you have all that complexity that you want out of a whiskey. So in this case, we spend a lot of time working on this, and that's why you see the result now.
And I love it. And I think some people out there just don't know what's right here in Houston. And you hear the music going. We're in this monstrous cavern of a tasting room. This might be the biggest tasting room in the state of Texas in a distillery. You can argue with me all day long, listeners, if there's one bigger, but this thing is gigantic. Giant Texas distillery. Hey. So, Mike, take me through the history of this distillery.
So we started this distillery back in 2016. Started very early. We started off with some pot stills and gradually converted to a bigger pot still into our column still that we have now. But before all that, this used to be Uncle Ben's. So Uncle Ben's used to be a rice factory. They made parboiled rice, which is minute rice. They operated here for up to about the 80s, sold it off. And the owner, Carlos, bought this property here, not to make whiskey, but to expand his coffee operation. And so we do continue to produce coffee here, which is kind of another big portion of our operation is making cold brew, roast and ground coffee, whole bean, what have you. And then Carlos had the idea, the vision to start distilling. And kind of the idea of that is, wasn't just to have our own brand, but it was really to make bulk source product for people, contract distilling, barreling, whatnot. Because back in that time, MGP was kind of grandfathering people in. This was hard for other smaller customers to kind of get in buying product from MGP. So we saw an opportunity to do that, and also with the climates that we have here in Texas, with the aging process, theoretically aging just a little bit faster, and giving it that robust taste that you get here in Texas with whiskey. Saw an advantage in that as well. And so, now here we are to, 3 years ago, it'll be 3 years in October when we installed our 42 foot column still, 42 inches diameter, pumping out some real serious juice.
I actually threatened last time to go swimming in that joker.
Yeah, you can swim in it. You can perfectly fit in there.
So, how much different was it going from the pot stills to the column still and learning that process as a distiller?
That's a very good question, Mike. And I get a lot of that question in the tours. We know that the pot still was the very first piece of equipment that was invented to make whiskey. So it's a batching system. It's more traditional. It requires more of the interaction with the distiller, more opening and closing valves. But the results are not very consistent. Once you jump into the column, it is a more sophisticated piece of equipment. It has more control points. Everything is more accurate, right? So yeah, you lose some of the romanticism of the distiller because you're in less contact with the machine, but the results are more predictable and I will say are more refined. So the column still will give you a lighter whiskey. It will give you a more refined whiskey, and the pot still will give you more bold flavors. So what we're trying to do here is that we have the base, we have the pot still whiskey, and we have the column still whiskey, and then we can blend those. We can play alchemy with those two. So yeah, that gives us the flexibility to create very complex blends over here.
Now, listeners, you can hear that Julian has just quite the accent here, and not a surprising thing here in Texas at all. I would say almost half of our population is Hispanic.
Yes, actually, 52% of the population in Houston are Hispanic. 80% of those are from Mexico. I'm not from Mexico, I'm from Colombia, but yeah, you will speak a lot of Spanish here in Houston.
And I found out today that you guys are going to have a salsa class here later.
Correct,
but,
yes.
But you don't need to take the salsa class, what you told me.
No, this is on my blood. I know how to dance salsa since I was a kid. My teacher was my mom, so I don't have any trouble with that. But we might see Big Chief dancing salsa tonight.
A few more of these, you will.
You'd have to drink a whole lot of whiskey for the big man to get out there and just salsa it up.
Oh, we got enough. We got enough for you.
But I see a TikTok moment happening right here, live on camera with Julian. Julian, what's the next expression you got for us?
So we have a few things that are new. We wanted to come up with natural infused expressions, right? We like collaborating with local people, so we did two infusions. The first one is gonna be our honey infused bourbon. We took a 5 years old bourbon. We pulled it out of the barrel. Then we did a collaboration with a local honey farmer from Temple, Texas. He sent us the honey. We put the honey into the empty barrel. We let it sit there for 6 months. We were rotating that barrel every 2 or 3 weeks, and then we ended up with honey infused with bourbon. So he took back the bourbon infused honey, and we ended up with a barrel coated with honey. So what we did is that we dumped the whiskey back into the barrel and we let it sit there for 8 months. So it's natural infusion, no flavors added, cask strength from the barrel to the bottle.
Well, grab that bottle and I'll pour some of that. He's got this little dimple on here. That ain't wanting to come. There she comes. So this right here, what's the proof on that?
I think this one is gonna be one of the, well, this is 52.9% ABV. So it's way up there though. So that times 2.
I'm trying to stomp the chump on him.
Life is too short to do that now.
Oh man. What's that? 104, 105?
Oh yeah, don't forget me.
105 something?
That's good. That's good.
Times 2. That's 105.8 proof.
Well, that's a high proof honey cask.
Let's call it a 106 proof.
Now, folks, I'm real familiar with Temple, Texas, and I got to say, Julian said, "Oh, we got a neighborhood bee farmer. 5 hours up the road."
Yeah.
In Texas, that's a neighbor to you right
that's
there.
around the corner, yeah.
Around the corner, up, just drive down the street a little bit.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Temple.
Well, in order to leave Texas, if I go west, I have to ride for like 12 hours. So yeah, it's close.
That is true. That is true. It's a big state. Well, cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my God. Hey, listen, listeners. Now, I've known about this honey cask for quite a long time. I've actually went through, I think, 3 bottles of this at my house. And whenever folks come over to my house, and this is like one of the first bottles I pull out and say, I got something special for you. And it's not overly sweet, but the honey's there. And I Julian, Mike, one of my favorite Texas whiskeys right here. Another great expression. I love that whenever you look in the bottle, you can kind of see that honey in there a little bit floating around. In the right proof. You know, when it's at 80 proof, I kind of feel like I'm drinking water.
That is correct, yeah. And also...
And the sweetness comes through way too quick.
It is very important to know the moment in which you have to pull the liquid out of the barrel. And that requires constantly tasting the barrel, because I wanted it to be whiskey up front and only have the honey in the back palate, right? I didn't want it to taste like a flavored whiskey. So that is what we got here. It took us 8 months to get to this point, and then is when we said, okay, now is when it's ready to put it in the bottle.
I love it. And kind of going back, Mike, to your guys' history, this being the Uncle Ben's rice factory, Minute Maid rice factory here in southeast Texas, really. If you drive between here and the state line of Louisiana, there's rice fields galore out there. And a lot of people don't know that Texas produces that much rice.
Quite a bit.
But they do. And then you guys were bringing in rice from, back in the day, they were bringing rice in here from Louisiana and Arkansas and producing it. But in the last 2 or 3 months, this is the second show I have done in a repurposed food factory, because I did a show up in Fort Worth, Texas, in the old ranch-style beans factory, and now I'm in the Uncle Ben's rice factory. I'm getting around, man. Rice and beans. I mean, you're talking about a poor kid lifestyle right now. Only thing I have left to do is to do a show in the Armour meat factory that makes potted meat. That's it. That's all I have left.
Or cornbread. When they make cornbread. Can't have red beans and rice without cornbread. You know that, right?
That is true.
And a whiskey.
And a whiskey. So, we're sipping on this right here. And I wrote a review for this back right when I started this show. I was like, I'm going to write a review for this. And you guys graciously gave me a bottle of it. And Mike has always stuck a bottle in my hand. And what a great relationship I have with you two. Consummate professionals. And you're on the road all the time. Is that tough being a master distiller here, the distiller, and having to go to, like you guys just got back from ADI. Is that tough?
Yeah, but it's part of the business. Here we do a little bit of everything. We don't have like a fixed role for each of the team members. So whenever we are not making whiskey, we're gonna be out there promoting the brand, just being the face of the brand, explaining to people how we make our whiskeys. It is very important to know that everything that we do here is made from scratch. So we are a grain to glass distillery. So yeah, just spread the word, go out there, see what's new in the industry, learn from the biggest producers. So yeah, it's part of the job. Yeah, sometimes it's hectic to travel a lot, but it's part of it. I think last year we met at New Orleans, right? When we went to the New Orleans Whiskey Festival. We were also drinking the honey over there. Yeah, we did a whiskey panel over there. So yeah, it's part of it, and yeah, I love it. I mean, I just love talking whiskey and meeting new people every day. The whiskey industry it's a group of friends. That's how I call it. Everybody is very friendly with each other. We are like brothers. If you have a problem, I can call to any distiller in Texas, and they will help me out. There is not a lot of competition. It's just a lot of camaraderie. Yep.
I love that about all of whiskey is, I was asking you today, hey, would you like a phone number for this person or that person? You're like, yeah, let me get that number. Mike, going back to that question about for you, is that tough traveling a lot? I know you got kids. And
that aspect is, but like Julian was saying, it's really rewarding as far as, a lot of things you can learn from other people, talking to other people about other processes and whatnot. Their experiences, whether it's going to be sales, marketing, process. That part is very rewarding, meeting new people, but it's always fun when you get to see, because we don't get to see a lot of our friends from other distilleries and breweries all the time, and so this gives an opportunity to kind of see them and kind of talk, what we're missing, what they've been up to. Maybe they have something that they've made that they really enjoy. We get to share it with them. So, it has its perks, but yeah, it can be difficult, but we make the best of it. But it's just, I really enjoy meeting all the Texas distilleries out there. A lot of good friends out there.
Well, I think it's even more than the Texas distilleries. Julian, you went to school up in Kentucky to learn your craft, right?
Correct.
And you still reach out to some of those folks, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, earlier this week at the ADI, I found a lot of people that went to the same course that I did. So yeah, I did the Distillers class at the Moonshine University in Kentucky. I also went to the alcohol school in Montreal. And when you go to those places, besides learning how to make the whiskey and everything else, you're making friends, right? And those friends will stay with you, even if you're in the industry or you're not, and they will be there to help you. So yeah, it's always fun to see the people that you had seen in the past. But as I said before, we are a community and we're all friends. So I love being part of this community.
I mean, I always feel sometimes like an outsider, but it always resonates with me when I do go to a festival or I run into somebody and they want to give me a hug or shake my hand and say, hey, Big Chief, it's nice to see you again, and I missed your big voice. And it's just, this is a different community. There's not race, there's not religion, there's not politics in it. It's just the whiskey.
Yep.
Right?
Passion for the whiskey, yeah.
How can we help each other out, help grow brands and stuff? Now, you guys would be considered, you're at your 10th year, but you're still kind of considered a newer brand, and even in Texas sometimes.
Very much so, yeah, because consider Kentucky's been doing it for 100 plus years. I mean, we're still very, very new. And in Texas in general, I believe, was it Garrison Brothers maybe the first one, and they're only like 20 years into it, whatnot. So I mean, Texas on a whole is still very young into the whole entire making a process, and you just can't take what a whole other state does, because we have to deal with the climate, we have to deal with the water source differences, the grain differences, and stuff like that. So it's just not, you can't just replicate everything that everybody else does. I mean, you have your own little challenges, but it's still very, very new.
So right now you're 10 years old. How many different states are you guys putting whiskey into right now?
Talking about our brand or just in general for our barrel sales? We probably have about 30 different states that have probably picked up our whiskey for their own little company or what have you, do with under a little white label. But also, I think bigger than that, we've shipped out some our own whiskey out to us at
Belgium.
Belgium, yeah. So we had a tanker go out to Belgium.
Yeah.
So what kind of whiskey did you send over there?
That was our 3 years old Texas bourbon.
Yeah.
Texas bourbon from the U.S. to Belgium. That was the first ISO tank that left the Port of Houston of whiskey.
Really?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And how many tanks was it? Just one or?
We did two.
2 tanks?
Yeah.
And it went in an ISO tank?
In an ISO tanker, yeah.
Really? And then they're going to bottle it over there?
Yeah, they're going to use it as a base for their whiskey products over there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We also ship some tankers from here to Kentucky. So we send some Texas whiskey to Kentucky. Yep.
We infiltrated.
Yeah.
We call the Trojan horse.
The Trojan horse.
We got the Trojan horse of whiskey. We got in there.
Wow. And you got a couple different SKUs here, but a lot of people are going to probably hit that you guys got. We got Prideful Goat here on the table. Mm-hmm. This is your guys' brand.
Yes, it's 100% our brand. Before I let you go, these two brands right here are also in China. So
Really?
We're in the Chinese market and for our pastilles there. So it's kind of nice. The Chinese like our whiskey.
Well, I say the other country out there that's going to start drinking a lot of whiskey is India.
India, yeah.
Yeah. You
Number
guys,
one consumer.
Well, you guys were at ADI, and we talked a little bit beforehand about the struggles of whiskey. And last week, my episode, or 2 weeks ago, my episode was on the downfall of whiskey. How is a craft distiller like you guys? You're still craft. How do you see the downfall? Is there a downfall? Is it a craft distillery?
Well, there is a lot of things going on, and we were talking about this. So there is a lot of speculation. Everybody's concerned because all the big guys are cutting up the cost. They're being impacted by the tariffs and all that. But one thing that I learned at the ADI, talking to the different colleagues, is that not everybody is being affected. This is affecting mostly whoever is taking their juice out of the country. However, if you're selling within the states, you're kind of insulated, right? So some of the small distilleries are actually reporting growth in 2025, like the craft distilleries. Why? Because the new consumer, the millennials and the Gen Zs, they want to look for something crafted, but at the same time, they are changing their behavior. They want to drink less alcohol than they used to drink before. So they don't want to drink something that is 40% ABV. They want to drink something that is 5 or 10%, or no alcohol at all. So it's a challenge for us. We need to adapt to the new customer, but at the same time, we need to worry about promoting our brand and making sure that everybody understands that whatever they are drinking over here was something made locally, and that was something that was made with passion, right? Once you have a story to tell, people will get engaged with that product. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're trying to promote, and that's how we are trying to adapt to the changes of the industry.
Well, I mean, that goes against contradiction of what the giant distillers are out there saying. The giant distillers are saying everybody's hurting, craft's hurting, everybody's hurting. And I was like, there's no way. What's happening, I believe, and one of my opinions is that the craft distillers are coming of age in America. They're getting 10, 15, 20 years old. Their whiskey is coming of age to what American whiskey drinkers kind of assume what a whiskey should be. And they've won their market, and now they're starting to win other markets. And that digs into that profit of those big distillers out there, and I think there's a little worrisome now. There's like, oh my God, how many distillers are out there?
Man, it's crazy, and they keep popping up. So Yeah, I think we made a dent on the sales for the big guys. That's one of the things that happened. Also, the politics about like international business, it's also affecting their operations. But I think where a lot of people see problems, others see opportunities, right? So we have to stay positive and just focus on keep growing our brands, and everything will be fine. I mean, we're going through a contraction. We created a bubble during the COVID that burst in the last year. But everything goes back to a stable rhythm, and that's how we need to look at things and just like stay strong. We focus a lot in the local customer. I mean, our customer is in our backyard. Texas is a massive state where there is a lot of consumers, so that's where our attention is at right now, and then we will grow it from there.
I love it. Well, we drank 2 expressions. We've covered a lot of ground. Talked about your guys' history. Mike, I know you got to take off. Houston's a big town. If you don't get home, you're probably going to get whooped. But
That's not it.
I appreciate you coming on here on the first half with us, sitting down,
Absolutely.
talking a little bit of Texas whiskey with me, talking a little bit of marketing, talking about your great whiskey. Man, you guys are just knocking it out of the park. I think the issue is you're in this giant city of Houston and just not enough people know about you. So listeners, I'm telling you, you got to come right here, and we're going to talk about that on the second half, where they're located at, when their hours are, when you can come over here. And if you're a store in Texas and you want to buy a barrel of whiskey, these guys right here will sell it to you. I'm telling you,
Got you covered.
you're not going to miss out. They'll make sure they sanitize that steel that Big Chief's been swimming around in. if you get what I'm laying down, they'll sanitize it. Julian won't let none of that whiskey go out the door, right?
No, adds a little flavor.
Adds a little flavor.
It's called the Big Chief Sweat.
Well, listeners, you stick with us, and we'll be right back. Leaper's Fork Distillery is an artisan distillery working to bring back the history and heritage of a small batch whiskey production to Williamson County. The distillery crafts premium spirits using local ingredients and limestone filtered water to create superior spirits with a signature taste. Yeah, you know I love their wheated bourbon. Leaper's Fork Distillery is characterized primarily as a low-volume, low-impact concept of production. They are excited and honored about bringing back a lost art and industry to a county that always puts its history and heritage at the forefront. Visit them today at leapersforkdistillery.com. All right, listeners, we're back for the second half, and I got these 2 jokers right here, Julian and Mike, with me. Yeah, I talked Mike into staying. I twisted his arm. I was like, Mike, we're going to pour more whiskey, and he's like, I'm staying.
Yeah. He said he's going to pour the good stuff, so I'm like, okay. It wasn't Blanton, so I'm like, okay. It was some Giants. I'm like, I'll stay then.
What's in this glass right here?
So this is gonna be our maple infused whiskey. In this case, we did a rye whiskey because rye goes very well with maple. We did a collaboration with a maple honey farmer in Ohio, right?
Yeah, so this came from Kevin Hawley out in Iowa out there, a local maple farmer. So that's the same place where we get our bourbon barrel-aged maple syrup, which if you haven't had it, it is phenomenal. I've had a lot of other maple syrup out there with their own little Vermont maple, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, this stuff, can't touch it. It is light years better than a lot of the stuff I had, that Vermont, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this was a maple syrup barrel that was aged, a bourbon barrel-aged maple syrup that Kevin did. We obtained that barrel, and like Julian was saying, we threw a rye into there and let it age there for a bit, and just got this nice, harmonious, maple-infused rye whiskey here. And yeah, Kevin's a great dude, and I think he's already starting his own little stuff. And we talked to him about a couple months ago on some barrels.
He is. Now, listeners, you know Kevin Holy. He's my old sponsor. Hopefully he'll be a sponsor at the start of the year and stuff. He just needs to take a break for a little bit, get a little revenue built up, working on that new projects he's got, and I hope he does great at it and stuff. I don't even know what you're going to call it, like Maple Moonshine or something, Maple Shine. But this right here, I did a review on this as well, and I've served this to people across the nation, and they're like, "Man, that is so different, so It's got this smoky character to it. And you're right, man. Kevin, I think it's just his, because I've had other Ohio maple syrup. I've had Vermont. I've had stuff from Canada. Kevin, it's just the love that him and his family put into their maple syrup is what it's all about and stuff. So if you're out there, you're looking for some maple syrup, go to Seldom Seen Farm. Go to their website, pick some up. He's got cotton candy. He's got that. And
He's got bourbon barrel aged coffee. He's got maple sugar.
my wife's favorite is their barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah, they got a barbecue sauce. That's right. It's a little hard for me to buy barbecue sauce that's outside of Texas. So sorry. I'll do the maple, but I won't do the barbecue.
You stick to the HEB brand?
Oh no, I'll make my own.
You make your
either
own.
make my own or I'll buy. HEB is not bad.
It's
It's better than that Sweet Baby Ray that people brag about.
What about Stubbs?
No, I don't buy no Stubbs.
No Stubbs.
That's like buying Sweet Baby Ray.
Now, what about you? Do you use barbecue sauce?
Not a lot. I mean, I have one that it lasts for months at my house, but yeah. So sometimes we just get crazy at home and we use some barbecue sauce when we're grilling or my steaks.
On what?
No,
When we're grilling, we put some barbecue sauce on it. Yeah.
that's a sin.
Yeah.
All right, we got to stop this show. I've never heard nobody putting I saw a kid put butter on steak one time on a camping trip because he didn't want to eat the steak. But barbecue, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Sacrilegious. I thought you were going to be like, I'll make a chimichurri sauce up. Or
Chimichurri we make it all the time, yes. But sometimes we just go crazy and we add a little bit to the side and we just
Crazy's right.
dip in it, yeah.
There might be a mental institution here in Houston somewhere for you.
That is ludicrous.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's taste this. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to barbecue sauce on a steak. I guess so.
Ah, that's tasty right there.
Yep. This one is a 118 proof.
That's a beautiful expression. I still at that nice high proof right here, but it doesn't drink, and it kind of mellows that rye whiskey out a little bit, I think.
Yes. It kind of like it smoothens all that grassy and herbaceous notes of the rye, and it adds these little like hints of maple on top of that, which is, I think, is a good balance, and it's very unique. And I love this expression because it's the best of both worlds. It's the best of the rye whiskey and also the best of the maple.
You know, this would be perfect right after a steak covered in barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah.
Yes, to wash out all that.
I'm just messing with.
No,
Hey,
it's okay.
Wash all that sin
Hey.
out of your mouth.
it's like whiskey, right?
Yeah.
You eat it the way you want it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best way to drink whiskey is the way you like.
Unless you come over to my house, and then when I cook my steak, it's going to be rare and it's going to be mooing
Rare is the way. It's the way to go.
with just a little sprinkling of seasoning on there.
There we go.
Salt and pepper is all you need.
Let's do it. I'm not scared.
I want to taste that grass that bull was eating. And I know some people are out there, what is a cow? But no, cows are typically don't go to the sale barn. It's a steer that's been castrated and
Yep.
sent to the
Sent to my plate.
yeah. Well, what a beautiful whiskey. So you guys got this giant tasting room and stuff. How many barrels a year are you guys putting out?
Oh, that's a big question. You're gonna have to sign an NDA if you wanna know the answer. But yeah, no, we're laying around 800 to 1,000 barrels a month. So you can do the math. Not all the barrels are for us. We also do like some specialty service of distillation for some customers. So yeah, we're hitting it pretty hard here. We're running steady. So yeah, we're making a lot of booze here. So if anybody's interested in some truly Texas whiskey, we have plenty of barrels over here for sale.
Now you also are making other products. We're going to next taste some brandy, and it looks barrel aged. So, but you also make beer here. What's your beer brand?
So our beer brand is going to be Tejas beer. We have a few expressions out in the market right now. We have our Tejas Clara. So the Clara is going to be like a Mexican style lager. We also have our Negra, which is going to be an amber lager, Mexican style amber lager on that one. And that venue is another big, beautiful venue out in the Heights area. It's of the Taylor and Summer Street, which used to be the old Buffalo Bayou Brewery location. And so they're no longer. We moved right in and we continued operations. But what's also very nice about that brewery if you're not a beer person, we got you covered because we have some of our whiskeys over there as well. We don't have all of them that we have at Giant here, but we have a decent amount of our whiskeys that you can enjoy there as well. So,
Now, what's Tejas stand for?
From what I understand, is friends, right?
Friendship.
yeah, so friendship, ally. Yeah, it's
I
friendship
wanted to
and
see if
ally.
you knew that or not.
Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah. and the name of the brand is with a J, so Tejas.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
how it's spelled.
Yeah. Like J from Julian.
Us Texans know.
Us Texans have to go through Texas history.
There we go.
They tell you about 500 times in the year what it stands for and how to spell it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a great tribute to the Lone Star State to make a beer called Tejas and stuff. What a marketing genius right there.
Yeah, it was quite genius to have that named that, especially if you are a true Texan, love everything about Texas. You know, what's better to enjoy a Tejas beer and a Giant whiskey? You know, a Tejas beer to chase your whiskey.
Chase your whiskey with. Well,
I like that combination. It's great.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
it's a Mexican style because this was Mexico at some point, so it's the better combination of both worlds.
Both worlds.
Yeah.
For 10 years, I believe, but not much.
Not much.
Mexico didn't have very long.
Oh my God. You guys are cracking me up. So you guys travel a lot together.
We do, unfortunately. we do.
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you share a hotel room?
No, because he snores a lot, so.
Only when a hotel offers bunk beds, then we'll partake in that.
Who takes the top bunk?
I take top. I
Take
the
top? You're like
He'll take the
step
bottom.
brothers in there?
Yeah.
Do you let him touch your drum set?
No.
I did once. He didn't know about it. We won't paint that picture for you, but
Oh my
it
God.
was once.
Oh goodness.
You gotta laugh a little bit. You gotta laugh and laugh
Yeah.
a little bit. Well,
Well, that's what whiskey is made for, to have a social conversation and have fun, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
100%.
So, how many tours do you do, and what's a tour consist of here at Giant Texas Distillery?
Well, we're doing tours pretty much every day. The distillery is open. The tasting room is open. We're open from Wednesday through Saturdays. We have a very well-trained staff for the tour. In the tour, you're gonna see all the behind the scenes of the operation, from receiving grain to mashing, fermentation, distilling, barreling. You might get a sample out of the barrel. You might get a sample of the white dog out of the still. So very, very complete tour. And then you might end up here at the tasting room doing a flight of our whiskeys with a very well explanation of how the whiskey has to be tasted and every single one of the expressions that you're gonna taste. So yeah, it's the complete experience. We like to spend our time like educating our customers about how the whiskey is made over here. We really love to teach people how the whiskey is made. So yeah, that's what you will expect here in a tour. We accept walk-ins. You can come here and just book a tour, or you can do it in advance and make a reservation.
I mean, I love it. Now, what about your bar? What time's the bar open up?
So we're open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. from Wednesdays through Saturdays. Wednesday is happy hour all day. Thursdays is allocated steak night, and Fridays we usually have a live band, or today we have the salsa class. So yeah, we always have something to do over here.
Now, for those people who are not from Texas or Hispanic, salsa is not something you're eating.
Something that you dance to, yeah.
You're going to dance to it.
Yeah.
Just for those listeners out there that don't know.
Yeah, so we have a lot of Latin people here and Hispanic people here in Texas, especially in Houston. So these salsa lessons have been a hit. I mean, everybody comes here, they do some training steps at the beginning, and at the end of the night, everybody's dancing and having a good time.
And you guys got a kitchen here too, and you're making food.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a food truck here. It's a chef-driven menu, so very good selection of food here. We have been improving the menu, and now our plates that we have on the menu are really, really good. Mike maybe can talk a little bit more about it, because I know he likes to cook, and so he knows a little bit of it.
Have you eaten
And
here
eat.
for the steak night?
Oh yeah, the steak's excellent. Oh yeah.
You put barbecue on yours?
No,
Yet.
No, we do not. But as far as we go, is we may put a little bit of steak butter on there. But We cook with salt and pepper. That's it.
Salt
That's all
and
you
pepper.
need. A good old ribeye.
That's how you cook brisket, salt and pepper.
Nothing more. Nothing more.
Have you taken on cooking brisket?
I have smoked on brisket at my home, yeah.
What kind of smoker do you have?
I have a little smoker. It's a very little smoker. I mean, it's just me and my wife. The kids don't like it, and so I just do a little bit, maybe 6 to 8 hours smoke. Not for too long.
You have a little smoker. What? So you got like a 3,000-gallon pit or something, Mike?
You can go big or go home. If you're not smoking 20 briskets, then you gotta go.
Well, let's stick to the whiskey, man. I love this maple right here. I love that you guys teamed up with Kevin and did an expression. I think it took off, and like people are like doing a lot of maple, but now you don't see that many maple finishes.
No.
And how many barrels did you do of this?
Oh, we did the first batch where it was 2 barrels, but now I think we have like 2 more sitting downstairs.
Really? Mm-hmm. They're selling that. You're like going through it.
For the next batch, yeah.
Wow, I love it. So what's the last thing or not the last thing, but what's the next thing we're gonna drink?
So we're gonna drink our brandy. Our brandy. This is my baby. One of my favorite expressions that we have made over here. It is brandy made 100% from Texas grapes. It's just following our philosophy of Texas made. So we got in touch with a winery in High Texas called William Chris. They sourced the grapes from us. The grapes are coming from the High Plains. So it is a blend of Uni Blanc and Orange Muscat, a 50-50 blend. We put it in 64-gallon barrels. Let's remember that the traditional size of the barrels is 53 gallons, so bigger casks. And these casks were not charred, they were only toasted. And this brandy was sitting in the barrel for 7 years.
7 years. Mm-hmm. So while you're pouring that, High Texas listeners is up near Fredericksburg, Texas. It's right down the road from Lukenbach, Texas. There's a little distillery there called Garrison Brothers. You can go visit on the Texas Whiskey Trail. But the grapes, he was talking on the High Plains, they're grown up in the Panhandle region of Texas, northern Texas, where the climate is a little bit cooler for them and stuff. But most of the wineries down there will have decorative grapes, muscadine grapes, a native Texas grape. And if you go back and listen to some of my old episodes, I guess, you would hear me talk about that with Iron Root, how the Texas grape saved all the European grapes and actually saved brandy. Brandy might have went like belly up and never been made again if it wasn't for the state of Texas.
Correct. I read the other day that the first distillations recorded in Texas were brandy.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. Well, like it was in the 1700s or so.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You had such a Spanish culture here then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the French were here too, so you would have had that going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those countries love a little bit of brandy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And brandy is really it's not a whiskey. Some people might think it is, but it's not. It's made out of grapes, 100% grapes.
Correct. When your sugars come from fruit, you're making a brandy.
Correct. What is it when it comes out? Is it just like a shine?
Yeah, it's like a shine. I would call it shine. Yeah.
Does it have what kind of characteristics does it have?
It's very fruit forward, but you don't get all the tannins from the wood. So yeah, it's like a moonshine, but more on the fruity side. You don't get a lot of the caramel or the vanilla that you will get from grain. You get more of the nuances of the fruit, all that citrus, all that like orange peel, or in this case, this one is very citrus forward because the orange muscat will give you all these citrus notes.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like candied orange.
Well, cheers.
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 That is lovely. I gotta say, I've had quite a few brandies over the past 7 or 8 years doing a podcast and about whiskey. A lot of people were making brandies. By far, the best brandy I've had ever in my life.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and it's not because we made it, but we get that comment a lot. I mean, when people I gave this brandy to Josh and Robert from Iron Root. They gave it to their mom. She tasted it. She loved it. And I saw her at ADI, and she said, "I still remember your brand." So that's a lot to say because she learned to make cognac in France. So yeah, I mean it's an outstanding brandy.
Yeah, we bring this to the whiskey, several whiskey events, and people are like, brandy, because there's a stigma about brandy, like because they look at it like E&J, the cheap stuff, and so, but we bring it anyways, and so people kind of look at it like, okay, what is that? And they try it, and everybody is astounded. Because at these whiskey events, they're just trying whiskey all day long for about an hour or so, drinking whiskey, and when they try this, they find it's like, this is so refreshing.
I think
it's like a palate cleanser. It's
you need that almost a palate cleanser. It's nice and refreshing. Yeah. I can taste a little bit of that toast on it, almost a little bit of marshmallow in there, but that citrus you was talking about, that orange zest. Oh man, it is like I stuck my tongue out and somebody zested an orange and it's in there and I caught it. Yeah.
But it's not overwhelming.
That makes sense.
It's not overwhelming because sometimes I've had brandy with 100% muscatat and it's not bad, but it gets to be a little bit more too orange, a little bit too perfumey. Where the Uni Blanc, where it's cut with that Uni Blanc, really balances everything out, where it just really adds that nice little sweet edge to it.
I've had some brandies. It's almost when you spray cologne and it gets in the air, and if you got any on your tongue, you're like, get that off there.
Absolutely.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But to have something like this, to complement your whiskeys with, that's barrel aged, and I think most whiskey drinkers would appreciate this expression of brandy right here.
Absolutely.
Hats off to you, man. I tell you what, I really love it, Julian. And I think more people need to seek that bottle out. Now, why did you guys go with a different bottle for that?
Well, we wanted to set apart from our whiskeys lineup, right? And this bottle was inspired in the way the whiskey was transported back in the day during Prohibition. They will use milk bottles to transport the whiskey. So it's kind of like mimicking a milk bottle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, they did use milk bottles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the real reason is just sexy. That's why.
It's just sexy.
It's just sexy.
Like the maker.
Just a sexy bottle.
He said, I don't know if you heard Julian. He said, like the maker, like me. I'm gonna salsa dance later on.
No, just the bottle.
So you got a couple little bottles right here.
Yeah,
what do you got?
Yeah, so this is what we have in the oven. This is not even in the bottles yet. We have a few barrels. We laid a few barrels of single malt. They are barely 3 years old. This is all 100% Texas malt. Some of them have smoked malt. Some of them have a Vienna malt. So yeah, we're kind of experimenting with single malts. These all went into used barrels. However, we have some batches that went into new barrels. I just wanted to bring a couple of examples to you. One was made in our ex-Giant Texas bourbon barrels, and the other one was made in an ex-MGP rye whiskey barrel. So you can taste a little bit of what the barrel is doing to the single malt.
So pick one and let me try that Joker.
Okay.
Look, you think's the best. I think, and I talked about this 2 weeks ago, that a lot of people are, especially distilleries out there, try to bash on American single malts. And I'm saying, why don't you embrace that? Other American whiskeys shouldn't be your enemy.
Yeah, I love it. I love the American single malt.
What should be your enemy is Scotch and Irish whiskey and Japanese whiskey and all that.
Buy American.
Buy American. If you're so concerned about tariffs and stuff, this is something I would go for.
Yes. So actually, in this past ADI, I went to the American Single Malt Whiskey Conference. It was the Master Distiller of Stranahan's, the Ty from Andalusia, and Jared from Balcones were there. They were all talking about our definition of single malt, right? And they were explaining how we want to be similar to a Scotch whiskey, but at the same time, we have some parts of the rule or the definition makes it different. So we can be either pot or column distilled. We can go into either new or used barrels. We come out of the Distiller 160 proof. In Scotland, you can come out of the Distiller higher than 160 proof. So all those little things, they are setting us apart from their whiskey, following the same pattern, right? And what's going to happen is now we're going to have different single malts from the U.S. So you're going to have a single malt from the northern states, a single malt from Texas, a single malt from California. So we're adding stuff to the plate that is going to be very interesting to try, right? And we're barely coming along with that. So it's something new to all of us, but I think we're doing very good decisions on how we're making this whiskey, and it's coming along very good. I mean, I really enjoyed making this whiskey.
Well, there's another issue I think with the single malt is just not because I don't think it's so much that people dislike it or what like it or people just want Scotch. I mean, I think there's a portion of that, but there's a problem as far as where does it go on the shelf? You know, where do you find it? What is it? It's people don't know what an American single malt is. They just don't know. And you have a large demographic of people, like say Latin America, they drink Scotch and they're drinking Buchanan's, Johnny Walker, Old Parr, or whatever, and that's what they know, and they know Scotch. So if they wanted to venture out, they're going to venture out to another Scotch. And if you try to tell them, it's like, well, you know, anything different, it's very difficult for them to kind of understand that or just try to get out of that. But, you know, even when you do have a single malt, where's it going to go on the shelf? There's not a big shelf space for something new. You may go closer to the brandies. You may go closer to where, you know, the flavored whiskeys are. You're not going to go to where the big section where the rye and bourbons are. So it gets a little misleading on trying to find a consumer to buy it. On top of that, you know, I have some Latin friends. They always love drinking, you know, Johnny Walker Black, Bellavini, whatever. And so I gave them some Andalusia Striker, and they really, really enjoyed it. So they like some of the American single malts. It's just, how do you try to get that across to other people to understand, like, hey, there are other options. On top of that, hey, guess what? It's tariff free. You don't. It's a better cost. You're buying Texas. You're buying American, and it tastes great.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, let's taste this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A little bit more spice than I think a Scotch or Irish whiskey and stuff. Where
Less smoke.
Less smoke, you know, and a lot of people that don't like Scotch might really love this right here. I've heard a lot of people like, I don't like single malts. Well, what do you mean? Well, I drink this Scotch. Well, okay, let's back up there and let's redefine this. Let's educate your palate a little bit, and you let them taste something, and they're like, wow, that's actually pretty sexy whiskey.
Yeah,
and this is still very young.
Yeah, this is barely 2.5 years old. So imagine this single malt at 4 years old, 5 years old. Yeah,
man.
So, something that a lot of people don't know is that single malt is two separate words. Single is that it comes from a single distillery, and malt is that it has to be made of malt. It doesn't mean that it has to be made from a single malt. Okay, so you can blend different types of malt to make your whiskey even more complex.
Now, where do you guys get your malt from?
We're from Tex Malt.
From Tex Malt, which a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people in Texas source from
Texas,
them.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, gentlemen, this has been awesome. I'm glad you let me try some of your upcoming whiskeys. I think that showcases your future. This thing, I hope I'm going to be invited back to keep tasting this.
Absolutely, man. You're part of who we are. You're always welcome. You're more than a friend. You're a very good friend of us. So yeah, every time you tell us you're coming here, the doors are open.
I know. Mike's giving me crap, but he is actually one of the first guys I call if I got a question or if something's going on in Houston, I need a phone number or something, Mike, and I really do appreciate that relationship we have.
Absolutely.
And
you're a phenomenal guy, man.
I try to figure out how to help you guys up and raise you up. Now, you guys, I talked to you about a giveaway, and you agreed to give away a bottle, I'm assuming. What are you gonna give away to one lucky listener?
Okay, what if we leave it up to you to pick one of the bottles from the table?
Ooh, that's a tough decision. But I would tell you this.
No.
You said no. I think this
That was-
honey cask right here. He's like, man, we got to sell that.
No, absolutely no. That was going to be my first choice, either the honey or the maple. But it's up to you. You can even do the brandy if you'd like. I mean, either one. It's.
I think that honey cask represents you guys, and I've raved about it so much.
It's phenomenal.
It's a high proofer. It's right around that favorite proof of mine of 107.
Yep.
So
Yeah, mine too.
I think this is a beautiful whiskey to give away. Now, how we're going to do this on this week's episode on Instagram, because I'm trying to work on my Instagram, and we're going to try to work on Giant Texas Distillers Instagram. What you're going to do is you're going to tag 4 people. Now, you get bonuses for the more people you tag, and I'm paying attention. Now, if you go over and you tag people on Facebook, on TikTok, and on YouTube, you can't tag people, but if you write a comment on there, I'll give you bonuses for that. I'm paying attention, though. And you got to follow Giant Texas Distillery. Am I right on that, Mike? Is that
Yes, Giant Texas. So it's Giant Texas is on Facebook, Giant Texas on Instagram. So it's just there's going to be 2 of them. So Giant Texas is going to be kind of the overall our tasting room, gives you all the information what's happening with our bottles, what's happening in events or what. But it's going to be Giant Texas, the one you want to follow.
pretty simple right there, but those bonuses do matter. You'll get a bonus also if you post a photo of you with a bottle of Giant Texas whiskey, or even Prideful Go. Hell, I'll take one of those. You'll get a bonus for that. But then tagging those 4 people on Instagram on the post with these 2 guys, I'll have a photo up there. You know how I do it. It looks like an album cover with 2 guys on there, Mike and Julian. It'll say the whiskey trip up top, and down below it'll say new episode available. Make sure you tag those 4 people, follow Giant Texas on Instagram, follow the Whiskey Trip on Instagram. You got to be 21, and you got to reside in the United States. I just can't afford to ship whiskey to Australia right now. So maybe soon. We'll get there.
Not yet.
But if you're all from Australia and you like Giant, we'll think of something.
We're going to get some whiskey over there. Now, we've told them where they can find them on social media. What's your website?
So GiantTexasDistillers.com.
Now, Julian, you're not on any social media. You're a
No,
pariah.
I'm trying to stay away from that. Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm active in social media. Again, it begins to be a little overwhelming, but Instagram and Facebook are the 2. I stay away from TikTok. That's garbage.
He also has an OnlyFans.
I didn't want to really kind of advertise. I thought I would stick it to whiskey. I usually try to keep that advertisement elsewhere, but I have that too. So yeah,
If you want to see Mike on OnlyFans licking barbecue off a steak,
Magic Mike. Yes, that's where you can find me.
Oh my goodness, you guys are killing me. Well, any last words, Julian, for the listeners out there?
Well, keep drinking whiskey. Whiskey is meant to be enjoyed. Whiskey is meant to, when you're drinking whiskey, think about all the time that we spent making that whiskey. So always enjoy whiskey. Sit down, talk with your friends over a glass of whiskey. And we're always here to help. We're always here open to whoever wants to come here and taste our whiskeys. So feel free to tell your friends that come to Giant Texas Distillers in Houston, Texas. You will never have a good time here. A bad time here, I'm sorry.
You'll never have a good time. Come on now, you can have a great time.
You'll never have a bad time here.
When you're around. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Mike, any last words for our listeners out there?
No, absolutely, man. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to Mike here. It means a lot having Mike here, Julian, everybody, kind of talk about what we enjoy and stuff. But yeah, I mean, the best whiskey is the ones that you drink with your friends to create those best memories. And so, drink responsibly, drink with your friends, and always have a good time, man. And yeah, like Julian said, come out and see us either at Tejas or at Giant. Either one of us would be either one of those places. We bounce around, but you're guaranteed to have a good time at all those places.
Well, guys, once again, thank you for coming on the Whiskey Trip, taking this ride. Once again, every time I see you at a festival or around the country, I just get excited because I'm like, they got something behind that counter there that I'm going to get to sip on that's absolutely amazing. Listeners, don't forget about this giveaway right here, tagging 4 people on the Instagram post. Bonuses galore for this episode right here. The more people you tag, the more I'm going to notice. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. If you're listening to me, listen to old Matt and Mark on the Bourbon Life. They're putting out shows again, put out great content, got great brands on there. They won't disappoint you. If you like what you're hearing from them and you like what you hear from me, write a review on Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review on there. Take those comments and post them back over on my Facebook page, The Whiskey Trip. You can find me on all social media platforms at The Whiskey Trip on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and now YouTube. Yes, I'm on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching this right here. Leave me some comments on there of what you think about the show. What can I improve? There's guys that say, hey, you need to turn your mic up, Mike, and I'm trying. Sometimes I talk very low, even though I got a deep voice and I'm a big guy. I just don't want to overpower people. But I'm working on it. I'm working on better video. I'm working on better content. So all the time. If you got a distillery in your backyard, make sure you hit me up. Tell me what you want me to do with that distillery. Get me their address, get me their phone number, and I'll reach out to them and bring them on the show if I can. I can only do what they want to do, though. Can't drag them on here. It's like you say, you can drag a horse to water, but the only thing you're going to do if you stick its head in the trough is drown it. So
just talk them into drinking.
Talk them into drinking.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
They'll open right up.
They'll open right up. Make sure you keep watching. Keep putting in for these giveaways I'm doing. They are real giveaways. I love it. I love putting whiskey out there for you. I love when distilleries like Giant does something like this. It shows that their love for their consumers and stuff and for my listeners. So stick with me. Keep watching. Keep listening. This is old Big Chief, and thanks for taking this ride with me, baby.